Here are the details for your selection. Countries involved: Israel, Iran, UK, Russia, Ukraine, USA. Common themes. Theme 1. Geopolitical tensions and military actions in the Middle East. What happened? Israel conducted a military strike targeting a component of Iran's nuclear program, according to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Iran also reported a limited opportunity for nuclear diplomacy, suggesting ongoing tensions despite potential avenues for negotiation. Context: this event occurs within the long-standing conflict between Israel and Iran, with Israel viewing Iran's nuclear program as a significant threat. The limited opportunity for diplomacy indicates a persistent stalemate in efforts to resolve the issue through dialogue. Persons of interest: Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel, Iranian officials. Significance: this attack represents a significant escalation of the shadow war between Israel and Iran, potentially increasing regional instability and jeopardizing any progress in nuclear negotiations. It underlines the deep mistrust and significant security concerns between the two nations. Reaction: international condemnation is likely from nations opposed to unilateral military action. Iran might retaliate, escalating the conflict further. Possible causes: Israel's concerns over Iran's nuclear ambitions and its support for regional proxies. Possible outcomes: further escalation of the conflict, potential regional instability, increased international pressure on Iran. Region: Middle East. Incident: Israeli strike on Iranian nuclear facility. Theme 2. Ukraine conflict and Western sanctions. What happened? The UK imposed new sanctions on Iran for supplying missiles to Russia. Russia warned that a Ukrainian attack on its territory using US missiles would escalate the war significantly. Reports suggest Ukraine may soon launch long-range missile strikes into Russia. Zelensky accused Russia of using Iranian weapons in attacks targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Context: this is part of the ongoing war in Ukraine, with Russia receiving military support from various countries. The West has imposed sanctions on Russia and its allies. Persons of interest: Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine, Russian officials, UK officials. Significance: these events highlight the international dimensions of the Ukraine conflict, with the involvement of multiple countries and the escalation of the conflict through the use of long-range missiles. The supply of Iranian weapons to Russia demonstrates further international support for the Russian war effort. The threat from Russia of escalation if Ukraine attacks Russian territory signifies a critical moment in the war's trajectory. Reaction: further international sanctions are likely. The West might increase military aid to Ukraine. Potential for direct confrontation between NATO and Russia if the conflict escalates. Possible causes: Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Iran's support for Russia's war effort, Ukraine's desire to retaliate against Russia for its attacks. Possible outcomes: further escalation of the war in Ukraine, potentially leading to a broader conflict involving NATO. Increased international sanctions and diplomatic pressure on both Russia and Iran. Region: Europe, primarily Ukraine and Russia. Incident: supply of Iranian missiles to Russia and potential escalation through missile strikes. Conclusion: the texts highlight a complex interplay of geopolitical tensions and military actions across multiple regions. The Israeli strike on Iran, combined with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the involvement of various nations, including the supply of weapons from Iran to Russia and the potential for escalation through missile strikes, indicate a significantly volatile international environment with the potential for major escalations and significant consequences for global security.